The day had arrived. Captain Marcus Hayes stood at the helm of the Valiant, his heart a symphony of excitement and trepidation. The sleek starship, a cutting-edge marvel, had launched humanity's first mission beyond known space. As the ship pierced through the shimmering atmosphere of Zara Prime, the vibrant colors of the alien landscape stretched out before him. "All systems green, Captain," reported Lieutenant Sarah Mercer, her fingers dancing over the control panel. Her enthusiastic smile contrasted with the weight of expectation hanging in the air. "Thanks, Sarah," Marcus replied, trying to mask his own nervousness. "Prepare for landing. Let's make history." The ship glided onto a verdant landing pad surrounded by towering trees with bioluminescent leaves. As the engines hummed down to silence, Marcus exchanged glances with his crew. Lieutenant Tom Daniels, an experienced pilot with a robust frame and a light-hearted personality, cracked a smile. "Well, if the locals don't have space for a barbecue, I'll be disappointed," Tom joked, breaking the tension with his usual humor. Sarah rolled her eyes but couldn't hide her grin. "You think they have hot dogs on this planet?" "Only if they're made of something exotic," Marcus added with a smirk. "Everyone, gear up. Let's make a good impression." With excitement buzzing through the crew, they donned their gear and prepared to disembark. As the ramp lowered, Marcus felt a surge of responsibility. He was the face of humanity in this pivotal moment, and he wouldn't let it slip away. As he stepped onto the soil of Zara Prime, the air was rich with unfamiliar scents, both earthy and floral. The ground felt soft beneath his boots. In that moment, an exotic melody drifted through the air, capturing Marcus's attention. "Is that music?" he wondered aloud. "It is," Sarah chimed in, her eyes lighting up. "This planet is full of surprises." Before he could respond, a group of blue-skinned beings emerged from the foliage. They were tall, their scales reflecting the light in iridescent hues. At their forefront was a striking figure, regal yet approachable. Marcus felt his pulse quicken as she approached. "Greetings, Earth Envoy," she said, her voice melodic. "I am Zyra, a Zaran Empress." Her piercing violet eyes assessed Marcus and his crew, and he couldn't help but feel a surge of respect. "Captain Marcus Hayes, at your service," he replied, extending his hand in the universal gesture of greeting. Zyra paused before accepting it, her grip firm and warm, causing a spark to shoot through his fingertips. "Many have spoken of your arrival. We hoped for an alliance that could benefit both our worlds." "An alliance?" Marcus echoed, his mind whirling with implications. "We're here for peace and understanding, just as you are." Zyra nodded, but soon a shadow flickered across her face. "However, loyalty is required for mutual trust, and it cannot be given lightly. Respect is the foundation for that loyalty," he responded, meeting her gaze. "And I intend to earn it." "Good," she replied, her eyes narrowing in approval. "Let's see how this partnership unfolds." She motioned towards the path leading into the heart of the lush forest. "Shall we? I wish to show you our home." Tom leaned in, whispering to Marcus, "Looks like we've got our work cut out for us." "Just keep your comments to yourself, Tom," Marcus replied softly, trying to maintain a professional demeanor. As they walked, Zyra began to explain her people's history. "The Zurans have thrived for eons, using our technology to cultivate peace on Zara Prime. We value loyalty, which is why the trust between us is key." "Loyalty is a two-way street," Marcus replied, glancing back at his crew. "We will uphold our end if you uphold yours." "Can your species be trusted?" Zyra queried, her tone suddenly serious. Tom chuckled nervously. "You'd get more of that if we had hot dogs." "Tom," Sarah hissed, shooting him a warning glare. Zyra's lips curved into a faint smile, indicating that this might not have been entirely inappropriate. "Humor has its place, I suppose. But I trust actions more than words." "I agree," Marcus said, firm yet diplomatic. "Let's find common ground, starting with collaboration on exploration and technology exchange. We have much to learn from each other." As they continued deeper into the forest, the bioluminescent flora began to glow more vividly around them. Zyra gestured to the flora. "These are our saplings, which help purify the air. With your advanced tech, we could amplify their growth. And in return," Marcus suggested, "it could aid your civilization's infrastructure." The conversation flowed smoothly, intertwining their cultures. The crew observed the alien environment in awe, soaking in the beauty around them. "Just wait until you see the crystal caves," Zyra said, grinning. "They are breathtaking." Marcus felt the atmosphere shift. He didn't just see Zyra as an empress, he was witnessing a leader committed to her people, a quality he admired. After a while, they reached a clearing filled with crystalline structures that glowed under the twin suns. "Incredible," Marcus murmured, feeling overawed. "Welcome to the heart of Zara Prime," Zyra announced with pride. "Here, we unite our thoughts and visions for the future." Sarah stepped forward. Can we conduct our discussions here? It's beautiful and inspiring. Zyra nodded, clearly pleased. Agreed. As they settled on the grass, Marcus exchanged glances with Zyra. Their intrigue in each other was palpable, a moment when the diplomatic roles shifted to something more personal. Let's talk about our cultures, Marcus suggested. Maybe share a bit about our visions for the Alliance? An interesting idea, Zyra agreed, her eyes brightening. How about we share a story that defines our essence? That sounds perfect, he replied, leaning in a bit closer. And as the discussions transformed from politics into personal anecdotes, Marcus felt an unexpected warmth growing between them. Perhaps, just perhaps, loyalty could be earned not only through respect but through genuine connection. The day unfolded, transforming from first contact into an exploration of ideas and a blossoming friendship. Above them, the twin suns dipped lower, painting the horizon in hues of orange and violet. This was only the beginning, but Marcus sensed that their journey would mark the start of something extraordinary, not just for their worlds, but for them as individuals. Chapter 2: The Test of Loyalty. The following days were a whirlwind of activity on Zara Prime. Marcus woke each morning eager to explore the beautiful alien world and forge stronger ties with the Zaran people. As they conducted joint missions and discussions, the camaraderie between Marcus and Zyra deepened, but lurking in the background was the question of loyalty, a matter neither could ignore. Ready for today? Tom asked Marcus as they prepared to meet with Zaran Council leaders. More than ever, Marcus replied, tightening his uniform. Today is critical. If we can secure their trust, it will send a message back to Earth. Just remember to smile and don't bring up hot dogs, Tom said, chuckling. Noted, Marcus replied, rolling his eyes. Let's focus on winning them over with more than just jokes. As they approached the Zaran Council chambers, the atmosphere shifted. Guards stood at attention in beautiful, ornate uniforms, each adorned with glowing insignias. They opened the massive doors, revealing a circular room with shimmering walls reflecting an otherworldly light. At the center sat the council, including Zyra, her presence commanding yet inviting. Welcome, Earth Envoy, she said, her tone a mix of seriousness and warmth. We have matters of importance to discuss regarding our potential alliance. Thank you, Zyra, Marcus began, gathering his thoughts. We believe that by working together, we can achieve extraordinary things. Council members exchanged glances, some skeptical. One elder, an imposing figure with deep-set eyes, leaned forward. What does humanity bring to our table? We demand loyalty and respect above all else. Loyalty is mutual, Marcus replied, maintaining eye contact with the elder. Humans may be new to this galaxy, but we've faced challenges that have shaped our character. We thrive on collaboration. Zyra interjected, what can you offer us that makes this alliance worthwhile? Think of the possibilities, Tom chimed in, his excitement palpable. With our technological advancements, we could amplify your agricultural systems or... Enough, the elder barked, interrupting Tom's enthusiasm. We need proof, not just promises. What will you sacrifice to demonstrate your loyalty? Marcus sensed the tension rising. What do you mean by sacrifice? The elder stood, towering over them. If we are to commit to your planet, we need a demonstration of sacrifice. Something of value to you, to prove your loyalty. What would that entail? Marcus asked, feeling his heart race. Perhaps one of you must participate in a Zaran trial, the elder suggested. A test of strength and will. Show us your fighting spirit. And if you SGD, we will take that as a gesture of loyalty. Tom leaned in and whispered, Are they talking about a gladiator fight? Before Marcus could respond, Zyra challenged. And if he fails, does that mean our alliance ends? That's an extreme measure. The elder nodded slowly. The trial is not only a display of strength, but also a way to discern character and commitment. It is our tradition. This doesn't feel right, Marcus said, glancing at Zyra. Trust should not hinge on violence. It's our way, the elder insisted. The silence thickened in the room as Marcus weighed his options. Let me think about it, he said, finally, his mind racing. After the meeting, Zyra caught up to Marcus. You don't have to agree to their terms. Maybe not, but refusing could jeopardize everything we've worked for, he replied, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. Think it through, she urged. This doesn't reflect who you are. It reflects what they value, he shot back. What do you think I should do? I think you should lead with respect but also with your own values. Prove loyalty in a way that is true to yourself, she advised, her expression earnest. Her words struck a chord. You're right. I can't let them dictate my worth. I'll stand with you, whatever you decide, she said, her gaze unwavering. That night, Marcus tossed and turned, contemplating the trial. The next day, he sought out Tom in the ship's common area. "What's bothering you, Captain?" Tom asked, glancing up from a holographic game. "The Council demands a test of loyalty. A trial. Are they serious?" Tom looked incredulous. "You can't lose your dignity to prove this. We're not here to fight." "I agree, but changing their perspective is a complex game," Marcus said. "If I refuse, we risk the entire alliance." Tom leaned back, pondering. "So you want to go through with it?" "No," Marcus replied. "I'm exploring alternatives. We need to prove our worth without resorting to violence." Later, while preparing for the day's negotiations, Marcus came across Zyra in the botanical gardens, an area filled with stunning plants that pulsed with light. "Hey," she said, turning to him, her fingers brushing against a glowing petal. "Are you still considering the trial?" "I'm considering how to demonstrate our commitment without losing sight of who we are," he explained. Zyra stepped closer, looking thoughtfully at him. "It's a delicate balance. But remember, actions speak louder than words. Perhaps there's another way." He considered this, curiosity piqued. "What are you suggesting?" "Share your culture with us. Teach us about Earth. Maybe a public event where you can show your technology and facilitate discussions in other ways, a display of mutual respect," she proposed. "I like that idea," Marcus said, feeling a spark of hope. As they spoke, Marcus reached out, tucking a stray hair behind her ear. "You're brilliant, Zyra. We need to show them we can create something beautiful together." Zyra's cheeks flushed, and for a moment their gaze met, unspoken connection blooming between them. "We'll need support from the Council. If we can demonstrate our potential for collaboration, it might change their perspective on loyalty," she suggested. "Let's present this as an event, an exhibition of our cultures. It can show them we respect their traditions while also emphasizing our own value. It's worth a try," she said, excitement dancing in her eyes. The idea took shape quickly. With the crew's help, they organized a cultural exchange program that highlighted both planets' strengths. Over the following days, they worked tirelessly, setting up exhibits that showcased art, technology, and traditions. On the day of the event, the council members gathered and anticipation filled the air. The brightly colored displays, each representing a piece of their respective cultures, dotted the landscape. "Welcome," Marcus announced, standing at the center of an open clearing filled with Zurans and humans alike. "Today, we celebrate our alliance through understanding and mutual respect." As he spoke, Zyra stood nearby, beaming with pride. Marcus gestured towards some of the human displays, explaining the significance of art and technology in Earth culture. "This is only the beginning," Marcus continued, eyeing the council members. "We are eager to learn from you as well, to develop something greater together." As the day unfolded, the atmosphere shifted. Laughter and shared stories echoed across the clearing. For the first time, there was genuine engagement. Zaran children laughed as they tested human inventions, and humans marveled at the intricate Zaran art. As twilight approached, Zyra turned to Marcus. "You did it. This is a demonstration of what we can become together. Let's hope it's enough to earn their trust," he replied cautiously. After the event concluded, the elder approached Marcus. "You have proven your dedication today. Perhaps our understanding of loyalty can shift." "Thank you," Marcus said, relieved but also curious. "What are your thoughts on our alliance now?" "We will move forward with caution," the elder replied. "But our perspectives have expanded. Perhaps your idea of loyalty is worth considering." As conversations continued and laughter rang out in the background, Marcus felt a surge of hope. Together with Zyra and their crew, they had taken a significant step towards something profound. The trial of loyalty had indeed become a celebration of unity, and in that shared moment, Marcus knew the real power of partnership. Chapter 3: Breaking Barriers. The days following the successful cultural exchange event were filled with an electric energy that pulsed through Zara Prime. Marcus felt a growing sense of connection with both the Zaran people and Zyra. Their bond had deepened, shifting from mere diplomatic necessity to something more profound. "Ready for the next phase?" Tom asked as they gathered around the ship's conference table. The crew was buzzing with excitement, discussing plans for further collaboration with the Zurans. "Absolutely," Marcus replied, glancing around the table at his team. "We've earned their trust. Now we need to build on it." Sarah chimed in, her eyes sparkling. "What do you have in mind, Captain?" I propose we develop a joint research initiative, Marcus suggested, looking at the eager faces before him. We can focus on environmental technologies, studying how we both manage and utilize our planet's resources. I like it, Tom said. It'll show them we're serious about working together. As they discussed potential projects, Marcus's mind wandered to Zyra. He could still feel the warmth of her smile, hear the laughter they'd shared. The growing connection was undeniable. Just then, an alert pinged on his wrist communicator. Looks like Zyra's requesting a meeting, Marcus announced. The anticipation was palpable, excitement curving through the air. Within half an hour, Zyra strode into the conference room, a vision of grace with her flowing garments accentuating her confidence. Captain, she greeted, her voice smooth yet charged, I've heard the wonderful news about the event's success. The Council is eager to explore a further collaboration. Thank you, Zyra, Marcus said, standing up to greet her. We're proposing a research initiative focused on environmental technologies. Are you interested in discussing this with the Council? I am, she replied, her eyes brightening. But I also want to ensure that this partnership honors both our cultures, not just ours. We'll showcase our strengths while respecting yours, Marcus assured her. In fact, why don't we combine our resources and host a joint workshop? A hands-on approach could foster even more collaboration. I love that idea. Zyra responded, enthusiasm evident in her voice. We could hold it in the Crystal Caves. The setting alone would inspire creativity. Excellent choice, Marcus said, feeling a rush of excitement. Let's set it up. Over the next few days, the team worked diligently, coordinating with Zaran scientists and engineers. As they prepared, the chemistry between Marcus and Zyra deepened. They spent evenings discussing project details and personal aspirations, their laughter echoing through the quiet corridors of the Valiant. One evening, after a long day of planning, they found themselves walking through the bioluminescent gardens. I never imagined I would meet someone like you in this role, Zyra said, brushing her fingertips against a glowing flower. You have a spirit that intrigues me. What about my spirit? Marcus teased, catching her gaze. Is it that I'm charming, good-looking, or just plain lucky? Perhaps a bit of all three, she replied with a smile, her eyes glinting in the soft light. But mostly, it's your willingness to be open, to explore and learn. I feel the same about you, Marcus admitted, his voice lowering. You lead with empathy, and it shows. They paused, standing close enough that the space between them felt electric. Zyra searched his eyes, and Marcus sensed the shift in the air. Marcus, this partnership means more to me than words can express. Before he could answer, Tom's voice broke in, calling from a distance. Hey, you two! Stop flirting and get back to work. Both Marcus and Zyra chuckled, but the moment hung there, a promise lingering between them. The day of the workshop arrived, buzzing with excitement. Humanity and Zaran representatives gathered in the Crystal Caves, the ethereal glow surrounding them creating an almost magical atmosphere. Welcome everyone, Marcus announced from a makeshift stage. Today marks a turning point in our collaboration. Let's share what we know and learn from one another. Zyra joined him, beaming at the crowd. Together, we can innovate and uplift both our worlds. We will start with a demonstration of Zaran energy absorption techniques and follow with human technological advancements. The audience listened intently as one of the Zaran scientists, an older man named Rylan, stepped forward. Our energy absorption technology harnesses the natural flow of our environment, converting it to sustainable energy. This practice has allowed us to thrive without depleting resources. Tom leaned towards Marcus. I want to see that in action. Sounds impressive. In the other's strengths, they laughed, shared stories, and created together, pushing boundaries beyond mere diplomacy. Later, as the workshop transitioned into more casual discussions, Marcus found himself beside Zyra. The rapport between them was undeniable. I enjoyed watching the exchange unfold, she said, her eyes bright with delight. This is what we need. It feels good to see everyone engaged, Marcus replied. Like we're building something greater together. Zyra stepped slightly closer. You've done a remarkable job. This wouldn't have happened without your guidance. Not just me, it's all of us, Marcus insisted, feeling a tingle of vulnerability. You've been a huge part of it. The two shared a lingering gaze, sparks of understanding passing between them. Then, Rylan approached, breaking the spell. Zyra, Captain, may I have a moment? Of course, Rylan, Zyra said, stepping back to give him space. Your collaboration is impressive. I want to propose further joint research on climate control methods, he suggested. That's an excellent idea, Marcus responded, eager to dive deeper. We could coordinate efforts, combine our climate data for mutual benefit. Agreed, Ryland said, nodding. The more we collaborate, the greater our potential achievements. As discussions continued, Marcus felt a surge of inspiration. They were creating a blueprint for an alliance that could revolutionize both their worlds. Later in the day, as the crowd thinned, Marcus turned to Zyra. I can see the impact we're having. It feels like we're rewriting the narrative. We are, and I appreciate your partnership. She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a hushed tone. I value you more than you understand. Their eyes locked again, and this time the moment stretched. The atmosphere around them seemed to still, and for once all the pressures of duty and expectations faded. Zyra, Marcus began, his heart beating fast. But before he could say more, Tom approached with a wide grin. Perfect timing. You guys won't believe the potential we can unlock with the Zarin bioengineering techniques. Right, Marcus said, reluctantly breaking eye contact. We should explore that. As they turned back to the group, the moment slipped away, but the connection lingered, a promise of something more to come. Hour by hour, they worked towards crafting a future that was no longer about mere treaties, but something based on understanding, respect, and an evolving partnership. Every shared laugh, every moment of respect chipped away at any remaining barriers. By the day's end, Marcus felt exhausted but fulfilled. They had broken down walls, ignited ideas, and forged a collaboration that could change the course of history for both civilizations. As he glanced at Zyra, he knew they were just at the beginning of a much larger journey, one that held infinite possibilities. Later that evening, as the last sun dipped behind the horizon, Marcus found Zyra standing by a shimmering lake, the light of the stars reflecting in her eyes. Hey, he said softly, stepping up beside her. Hey yourself, she replied, her smile warm and inviting. Today was incredible, he remarked, glancing out over the water. We've accomplished so much. Yes, she said, tilting her head. But it's only the start. There's so much more to explore. Their fingers brushed against each other, the connection palpable. In that moment, it didn't matter that they came from different worlds. What mattered was the mutual respect and understanding that had blossomed in the unlikeliest of places. As they stood side by side, neither wanting to break the moment, they could sense the beginnings of a new adventure that stretched far beyond diplomacy. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, hand in hand, ready to explore the unknown. Chapter 4: The Threat from Within. The momentum from the workshops had sparked a renewed vigor in both Zara Prime and aboard the Valiant. Marcus felt invigorated. The camaraderie between the humans and Zurans had blossomed, and for the first time, it felt genuinely rewarding. The prospect of further collaboration was tantalizing. On a bright morning, Marcus called a meeting with his crew to discuss the next steps. All right, team, we're riding a wave of goodwill right now. What's our next move? He asked, settling in at the head of the table. Tom leaned back in his chair, a grin on his face. We should initiate the joint research on environmental technologies we discussed. We can start with energy absorption and work in parallel with the Zarin scientists. Agreed, Sarah chimed in. If we can showcase how our technology enhances theirs, it could solidify our partnership even further. Just as Marcus was about to voice his thoughts, an urgent ping interrupted them. A transmission from Zyra flashed onto the screen. Captain Hayes, she exclaimed, her expression serious. We need to talk. There's unrest among the council leaders. Marcus exchanged glances with Tom and Sarah. What kind of unrest? He asked, his voice steady. Some council members are hesitant about the alliance. They believe we're encroaching on Zarin sovereignty. They think your technology will overshadow our own. This is unexpected, Marcus murmured, feeling a ripple of concern. I thought we were making progress. You have made progress, Captain, but not all are convinced, Zyra replied, her voice unwavering. I recommend a meeting with the skeptical council members. Count me in, Marcus said firmly. We need to address this before it escalates. A short while later, they gathered in the Grand Council chamber decorated with shimmering crystals and intricate patterns that seemed alive with energy. The air was thick with tension. Council members' serious eyes narrowed as they awaited Marcus and Zyra's arrival. Thank you for meeting with us, Marcus began, stepping forward confidently. We're here to listen to your concerns. An elder named Sereth, a tall and imposing figure, crossed his arms. Your technology is powerful, Captain. Powerful enough to change your world. But we worry that it might drown out our culture. We value your culture, as does our entire team, Marcus replied, trying to keep the conversation constructive. Our intent is to collaborate, not dominate. And how can you prove that? A council member named Thera snapped, leaning forward. What guarantees do we have that this alliance will benefit us equally? Zyra interjected. We can start by creating a council of our own, joint oversight on any technology or projects we pursue together. That sounds dangerous, Sereth said, his brow furrowed. It could lead to human interests overshadowing our own. Then let's set clear guidelines, Marcus proposed, feeling the pressure mount but remaining determined. We will respect Zarin traditions and regulations in every project. Your voices will be heard equally in our decisions. Another council member, Jorin, chimed in. Actions speak louder than words. What will you personally sacrifice to show that your intentions are honorable? Marcus felt the weight of responsibility. I will agree to a trial period. We can start with smaller joint projects. If at any moment your council feels we're overstepping, we will withdraw immediately. An interesting proposal, Sereth replied, his tone still skeptical. But testing a partnership without risk feels weak. I'm prepared to submit to Zarin customs, Marcus said quickly, as a form of personal guarantee. If I fail to keep my promise, I will step aside from the initiative. Gasps rippled through the council. Zyra looked shocked but thoughtful. Are you certain of this, Marcus? I believe in our cause. If we're genuine, we should be willing to prove it. Sereth relaxed slightly. We will consider this, Captain. But understand this. Any misstep could jeopardize our cultures. As the meeting ended, Marcus felt both relieved and anxious. Though they hadn't fully calmed the elder's fears, he had planted a seed of trust. Afterward, he found Zyra waiting outside the chamber, a concerned expression on her face. That was a risky move, she said. Are you sure you want to put yourself on the line like this? I need to show them we're in this together. Trust is built on actions, not words, he replied, feeling resolute. Still, there are whispers among the council. Some think you may be a threat to us, she warned. Let them talk. We'll prove them wrong. The following weeks were a blur of activity as Marcus prepared for the trial period. He met with his crew to brainstorm ideas for projects that would integrate their technologies without overwhelming Zarin resources. Let's focus on specific applications, Tom suggested. How about we use our kinetic energy devices to enhance the Zarin agricultural practices? That will clearly illustrate collaboration. Great idea, Sarah said excitedly. Integrating our methods can lead to increased productivity for both sides. As they continued working, Marcus could feel the tension in the air around the council. The once invigorating energy began to take on an undercurrent of uncertainty. Later, during one of their evening meetings, Zyra appeared particularly troubled. Marcus, I need to discuss the council's reactions. Some members are rallying against you, claiming your actions are a guise for domination. Claims without evidence, Marcus replied, irritation creeping into his voice. What do they want? Blood? Calm down, we need to navigate this carefully, Zyra said, her tone firm. They're looking for justification to oppose the alliance. I don't want to see you treated unfairly because of misunderstandings. What do you suggest? He asked, trying to moderate his frustration. Let's hold an open forum, a public meeting to address their concerns directly. You can present the first project plan, it may help quell their fears, she proposed. That might just work, he considered. A chance for transparency could show them we're committed. Then we'll prepare. Zyra offered a soft smile. Together. As the days passed, they worked tirelessly to arrange the forum, setting up a space where both humans and Zurans could voice their opinions. When the day arrived, Marcus watched as attendees began to fill the room, their apprehension palpable. Remember, Zyra said, her voice steady, stay calm and listen. This is about fostering trust. Marcus nodded, steeling himself as he stepped up to address the gathering. Thank you all for coming. We recognize the questions that linger, and today we want to openly discuss our intentions. As he began presenting their first project, a palpable tension filled the air. He was met with both curiosity and skepticism. Questions flew at him from various council members, each asking for clarifications or highlighting concerns. Your schedule implies overreach, one raised, a hint of accusation in his tone. I assure you that's not the case, Marcus replied, maintaining composure. The development aims to empower, not overshadow. Evidence and oversight will remain in your hands. Your credibility is still in question, another council member shot back. What if the spiral's out of control? Zyra interjected, we are not here to diminish Zaran culture. Our collaboration aims to support both sides equally. The council will always have a voice in project decisions. Gradually, their resolve began to sway a few members, but it was evident that doubts still lingered. As they continued the discussions, Marcus noticed Sereth in the back, watching intently. We need to create an oversight committee to manage these projects, ensuring they remain equal, Sereth finally proposed. That sounds reasonable, Marcus said, relieved to see some unity forming. Let's agree to that. When the meeting concluded, Marcus and Zyra felt a mixture of triumph and fatigue settle over them. While they hadn't extinguished all doubts, they had made significant progress. Once outside the chamber, Tom approached Marcus. I think that went relatively well. The council is beginning to open up. Let's hope it continues, Marcus replied, glancing at Zyra, who stood a few paces away, her mind clearly racing. As evening approached, Zyra found a quiet moment with Marcus, her voice soft. I admire your persistence. You stood strong against their challenges. I couldn't back down, he said, a hint of defiance in his tone. You showed them we mean business, she added, her eyes shining with gratitude. But we need to remain vigilant. There are still council members who don't trust you. I understand, Marcus replied earnestly, but I believe in the value of this partnership. Together, we'll show them that we can do great things. Unbeknownst to them, while they had been navigating open waters, currents of dissent were stirring quietly within the council. But Marcus's determination, coupled with the dawning respect they were building, was creating a new path forward. As their hands brushed against each other, the spark of connection flared. In that moment, both knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would tackle them side by side, committed to uncover the truth and build a future that would transcend borders. Chapter 5, A New Dawn. The dawn was breaking on Zara Prime, casting a warm glow over the lush landscapes. Marcus stood on the balcony of the Valiant, taking a moment to breathe in the fresh alien air. The past few weeks had been a whirlwind of progress and challenges, but he felt a sense of purpose coalescing within him. Captain, Tom's voice broke through his thoughts, startling him. You've got to see this. What is it? Marcus asked, turning to find Tom bursting with excitement. Come on. Tom beckoned, leading Marcus down the ship's corridor. They reached the common area, where Sarah was waiting, eyes wide. Are you two ready for this? She asked, a mischievous grin on her face. The council has finally agreed to a joint project. What project? Marcus asked, intrigued. They want us to collaborate on a new energy facility, Sarah explained. The council is on board, but only if you present it today to the entire assembly. Today, Marcus exclaimed, feeling the weight of responsibility settle heavily on his shoulders. What if I mess it up? You won't, Tom interjected. You've earned their trust. Just focus on the benefits for both sides. Right, Marcus said, straightening his posture. Let's go then. They gathered the necessary materials for the presentation, and as they walked, excitement bubbled beneath Marcus's anxiety. The task ahead was monumental but filled with potential. Before they entered the council chamber, Zyra approached from the side. Marcus, I was just looking for you. Hey, he said, stepping closer. The council just greenlit a new energy facility project. We're presenting it today. Exciting news. I'll be there to support you, she replied, her smile encouraging. I might need it, he admitted, feeling a flutter of nerves. What do you think? Will they buy into this? No doubt, Zyra said confidently. You've stood firm through challenges, and now you have their attention. This is your moment. With renewed determination, they entered the chamber where the council awaited. The tension in the air felt thick, but Marcus found reassurance as he caught Zyra's encouraging nod. He approached the center, drawing a deep breath. Honorable council members, thank you for gathering here. Today, we have an exciting opportunity for collaboration, he began. Jorin, a younger council member, leaned forward. You're proposing an energy facility? Explain how this will benefit us without undermining Zaran traditions. Marcus glanced at Tom, who gave him an encouraging nod from the side. Our goal is to integrate our technologies. By building this facility, we can harness Zaran energy absorption techniques with our kinetic energy innovations, creating a sustainable energy source for both of our cultures. Sareth crossed his arms, looking skeptical. And how do you plan to ensure the Zarin methods remain at the forefront of this project? We can establish a joint oversight committee involving both human and Zarin engineers. Together, we'll ensure that every decision respects Zarin customs, he replied, his voice steady. Sareth nodded slowly but remained cautious. Show us how this will work in practice. At the facility, we'll implement a training program for Zarin engineers, focusing on utilizing human technology in conjunction with your methods. Marcus gestured to a holographic display behind him that showcased designs of the proposed facility. This will create an exchange of knowledge and foster respect. Knowledge alone will not be enough, Thera interjected. We need the assurance that our way of life won't be compromised. Marcus glanced at Zyra, her interest piqued. We'll have scheduled reviews, ensuring that the goals and results are transparent. You will always have a voice in the decisions made. The council members began to whisper among themselves as Marcus continued to present the benefits. This facility can bolster economic growth, creating jobs for both of our peoples. It's not just an investment in technology. It's an investment in our future. After a moment of silence, Sareth raised his hand. We will convene to discuss this matter. Your willingness to compromise reflects honor, Captain. We shall consider your proposal seriously. Marcus exhaled slowly, a wave of relief washing over him. Thank you, council members. I look forward to your feedback. After the meeting, Zyra approached him, her expression a mix of pride and concern. You handled yourself well, but the council will deliberate and we'll have to be ready for anything. I know, but I think we're finally heading in a positive direction, he replied, feeling a sense of camaraderie forming. A few days passed, and while awaiting council feedback, Marcus immersed himself in the daily operations aboard the Valiant. Sarah, Tom, and the crew worked diligently preparing for the upcoming joint project. One evening, while Marcus was in the lab reviewing blueprints, Zyra stopped by. Working late, she asked, leaning against the doorway. I want to ensure everything is perfect, he replied, glancing up to meet her gaze. What about you? I wanted to see how you were holding up, she admitted, crossing the room to stand beside him. Just going over the plans. I can't shake the feeling that we're on the brink of something significant, he said, feeling the weight of the moment. You're right, she said, her tone softening. And Marcus, I want you to know that I believe in us. Together, we can accomplish great things. He looked at her, heart racing. You're a huge part of this, Zyra. I couldn't do it without your insights. Their eyes locked, a silent understanding burgeoning between them. Just then, Tom poked his head into the lab. Hey, you too. You're going to want to hear this. What is it? Marcus replied, startled. The council has reached a decision. Tom exclaimed, excitement bubbling in his voice. They're calling for another meeting to finalize the energy facility project. Today? Zyra asked, her eyes wide with anticipation. Tom nodded enthusiastically. Yes. Get ready, it's time to seal the deal. As they rushed to the council chamber, Marcus felt a mix of excitement and nerves. He exchanged a glance with Zyra, who offered REA.